Grading Jefferson 5-cent coins presents some challenges, especially to new collectors. First, the coin is relatively small in diameter, 21.21 millimeters. Thus, for the average person, the design details are more difficult to discern, and contact marks and wear may be hard to distinguish without the assistance of a magnifying glass. But too much magnification can be misleading, prompting those new to grading to be overly conservative. Second, most Jefferson 5-cent coins produced since 1938 are made of an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It's commonly nicknamed the nickel. Copper nickel is a hard alloy and displays a wide range of colors. It also offers a wide range of looks, especially in the degree of smoothness on the surface of a coin. Not all nickels contain nickel in their alloy. During the war years of 1942 through 1945, the metallic composition of the alloy for the 5-cent denomination was changed to an alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. The coins produced in those years are widely referred to as war nickels or silver nickels. Bernard A. Nangengast, a specialist in the Jefferson series and author of the Jefferson Nickel Analyst, 2nd edition, suggests using incandescent lighting for grading 5-cent coins. Further, he counsels to inspect the surface of the coins with your eyes, without magnification, tilting and rotating the coin, looking for a contrast of luster between the high points and the rest of the coin. According to Nagengast, Felix Schlag's design depicting Thomas Jefferson suffers from an inherent flaw. The highest point on the obverse, Jefferson's hair above his ear, was set exactly the opposite step areas on the reverse. 3 things had to be right before a coin could be fully struck. Die pressure had to be high, the dies had to be adjusted to the optimum distance between the faces when striking a coin, and the planchets had to be of the proper softness through annealing. The existence of full steps or a lack of full steps on the Monticello reverse through the years is a major factor in a fully struck Jefferson 5-cent coin and has led to the use of the term full steps and a specialized collecting area. As generally applied, at least 5 steps must be evident in a Monticello to merit a full step designation. The step count includes the porch deck, which is counted as a step. Schlag's design was intended to have 6 steps. Complete 6-step coins produced prior to 1990 demand a premium in the marketplace as designated as 6 full steps. All coinage dies wear due to use. The degree of die wear affects the sharpness of a strike. Since copper nickel is one of the hardest coin alloys, Jefferson 5-cent coins often exhibit weakness of strike due to worn dies. In the Jefferson series, die wear inconsistently differs from year to year and from mint to mint. The challenge is to know the die characteristics in order to properly grade Jefferson 5-cent coins. Schlag's left-facing portrait of Jefferson is depicted on the obverse from 1938 through 2004. A right-facing portrait was used in 2005, and in 2006, a front-facing Jefferson became the obverse design. Monticello, Jefferson's home, occupies the reverse from 1938 through 2003. But was replaced during 2004 and 2005 with designs celebrating the bicentennial of the Corps of Discovery. Schlag's 1938 Monticello reverse was returned to the 5-cent coin in 2006 with sharper details due to extensive restoration by mint sculptor and engraver John Mercanti. Mercanti suggested that the 3-dimensional appearance of the restored design is so vivid that collectors may have to re-examine how the reverse is graded. Mercanti used Schlag's original working plaster model from the Mint's archives and the master model for the 2003 reverse, since the technical aspects of the relief of the reverse were known, to finely hone many of the details of the Monticello to make the structure stand out more prominently. In the strong-jawed Jefferson 5-cent heat map, red is considered worst, orange is bad, and yellow is average. Green is better, and blue is best. A mark in the red area is about 8 times more serious than if the same mark is in the green area. The worst places on the obverse for a mark or scratch are on Jefferson's cheekbone or lower jaw, the mint mark, and the date. On the reverse, the worst places for scratches and marks are on the steps of Monticello, the fields above the 5-cent denomination legend, and on the fields to the right of Monticello. High points on the obverse of the Jefferson 5-cent coin are shown in red on the cheekbone and that strong lower jaw. On the reverse, design high points are on the dome of Monticello, the triangular roof and beam above the pillars, and lower portion of structural walls on the west front. On the VF30, light even wear overall, but all major design elements are sharp. On the obverse, the hair is worn, but nearly full details are visible. Cheek line and the bottom of the bust are sharp, but worn. On the reverse, most of the pillars show. The triangular roof and beams are worn almost flat. On the EF40, you'll see overall light wear on the highest points of the design elements. On the obverse, the hair is well defined and bold, but lightly worn. The cheekbone and the bottom of the bust exhibit light wear, but on the reverse, the triangular roof and beam are worn, but all details show. On the EF45, the highest points of the design elements evidence very light wear. On the obverse, the cheekbone and central portion of the hair exhibit slight wear with a trace of wear at the bottom of the bust. On the reverse, high points of the triangular roof and beams are worn lightly, and traces of mint luster will remain. Small traces of wear is visible on the highest points of the design elements. On the obverse, traces of wear are detectable on the cheekbone and high points of the hair. On the reverse, traces of wear are evident on the triangular roof above the pillars and on the beams. 50% of mint luster remains. On AU55, there's slight trace of wear on the high points. On the obverse, only a trace of wear is evident on the cheekbone. On the reverse, a trace of wear shows on the beam above the pillars. 75% of the mint luster remains. On the AU58, you will see very slight traces of wear visible on the highest points of the design elements. On the obverse, it will exhibit some signs of abrasion on the cheekbone and high points of the hair and collar. On the reverse, look for abrasion on the triangular roof above the pillars. All mint state coins are uncirculated. With the MS-60, you will have no trace of wear apparent anywhere on the coin. Both obverse and reverse may have heavy contact marks in all areas. It may lack full mint luster. The surfaces may be spotted and dull. Overall eye appeal is generally poor. On the MS-61, you may have a few heavy or many light contact marks in prime and secondary focal areas on both the obverse and the reverse. Luster is often impaired, and the overall eye appeal is unattractive. On the MS-62, this coin may have some distracting contact marks in prime and secondary focal areas. Luster may be original or impaired. Eye appeal is generally acceptable. On the MS-63, you may have noticeable detracting contact marks and minor blemishes in prime focal areas. Exhibits attractive mint luster. Good eye appeal. On the MS-64, you may have light scattered contact marks with a few prime focal areas. Luster may be average to full, and eye appeal is generally pleasing. On the MS-65, you may have light scattered contact marks, but not in the prime focal areas. Luster must be fully original. Overall eye appeal must be very pleasing.